He's young and charismatic, and he's won a Nobel Peace Prize. But there's no rose without a thorn, and protests in Abiy Ahmed's Ethiopia have led to almost 100 deaths in the last month. An alarming reality that needs explaining. For starters, Abiy Ahmed's Nobel moment came after the 43-year-old had been in power for just 18 months. During this brief time, he ended the long-standing border war with Eritrea, he released thousands of political prisoners, he appointed women to half his cabinet posts, and he even ended a confrontation with a bunch of military officers by simply doing push-ups. And so he was awarded this prestigious prize based on his, quote, efforts to achieve peace and reconciliation. But at the same time, peace and reconciliation in Ethiopia are quickly eroding, leading to speculation that the Nobel was a premature move for a man who still hasn't passed the test of time. The deaths have been characterized as, quote, ethnic violence, with dozens of victims being identified based on their religion and creed. But beyond the intricate social fabric of the country, we need to delve into the actions of one of Abiy Ahmed's rivals, Waeee Muhammad, to uncover the political dimension of this so-called ethnic violence. The violence in recent protests was actually sparked by Waeee Muhammad, who claimed that police in Addis Ababa had surrounded him and tried to detain him. But who is he? Waeee is a US citizen. Apart from being an analyst and activist, he's the founder of the Oromia Media Network and was the lead organizer of the protests in 2016 and the intellectual force behind the International Oromo Youth Association. It was these protests and the powerful collective of youth that sparked the wave of anti-government demonstrations which brought Abiy Ahmed to power in 2018. Abiy and Waeee also happen to be members of the country's largest ethnic group, the Oromo, but the theoretical alliance that was established has been seemingly broken. Why? Well, Waeee Muhammad has already hinted that he will be running against Abiy Ahmed in the 2020 elections. He has also rallied his own base to rise up against Abiy, who despite the Nobel win has been characterized by Waeee as, quote, a dictator who has centralized power, silenced dissent, and jailed political prisoners. Abiy Ahmed has not responded directly, but has criticized, quote, media owners and foreigners who are trying to sabotage his country's leap to progress. And so it is evident that there is a political dimension in these protests, which is taking advantage of ethnic disputes and tensions to place pressure on Ethiopia's new leader. So will Waee's bid for power be successful, and at what cost? And more importantly, will the world's newest Nobel laureate surpass this critical moment and remain in power?